The Los Angeles Lakers lose to the Minnesota Timberwolves 116-113. And I want to give the Wolves some credit here. I just find so much more of what's happening with the series to be interesting from the Lakers perspective than it is from the Wolves perspective, in all honesty. But I do want to at least start with this by giving Julius Randle a lot of flowers for completely turning his season around. He has looked amazing in this series. I think that part of what the Lakers are doing is making it a little bit easier for Randle, in all honesty, to get mismatches and to be able to attack in the way that he is. Also, them not having a great rim protector, Jackson Hayes being completely unplayable. Yeah, there are reasons why Julius Randle's going off in this series, but he deserves credit for doing it because he has struggled a bit throughout the course of his career in the playoffs. The second piece of this is Anthony Edwards. I mean, Anthony Edwards has been one of the 3 or 4 best players in the playoffs so far. And again, I think the Lakers are making it a little bit easier on him than it should be. But at the same token, I think Anthony Edwards has been phenomenal. He has beaten guys off the bounce, particularly like anytime Rui is stuck on him on an island. It feels like barbecue chicken. Like it is curtains for him. He has no chance to deal with him and stay in front of him. So, and Eric's right here. Shout out to Jaden McDaniels as well.
Sure.
Jaden McDaniels has been really important as like a 3rd or 4th scorer who has had a really good defensive series. I think Jaden deserves a ton of credit as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the Lakers are, this is like a maddening series for me because so much of what we talked about in the lead up is that both teams can pressure one another in certain ways, right? The Wolves are doing an amazing job of pressuring the fact that the Lakers don't have a great one-on-one defender for Anthony Edwards. And they're doing a great job of causing problems, not necessarily today for the Lakers because they dropped 113, but causing problems for the Lakers to get consistent penetration and be able to get all the way to the basket with their 2 bigs, and they're winning the rebounding battle a lot of the time. Like there are a lot of different factors there. So I just think that the Lakers are not in any way, shape, or form pressing the advantages that they potentially could have. When they go small, they're not really aggressively putting 2 on the ball to me.
Agreed.
Like they're just soft switching. And I don't understand why they're not aggressively trying to take the ball out of Anthony Edwards' hands. The case against this would be that, okay, you go small, you put Naz Reid on the court. Naz Reid, as we saw in the final possession today, or the possession where they took the lead at least, you know, Anthony Edwards goes around, takes the screen, they put 2 on the ball, takes a second screen, they kind of ice it with Luka, it looked like, and that just opened up the pocket pass, right? The key for the Lakers is that I just think more than anything, they're not defending well. Like the strategy is poor, the execution is poor. The craziest thing that like bothers me, I guess, more than anything is that they're not even doing the little things well. Like there were back-to-back possessions in the second quarter today where I think it was Julius Randle and then Anthony Edwards just got middle penetration on whoever was guarding them. And Rui had to step up, I think both times, if I remember correctly. No, it was it was Rui twice. And the Wolves had a guy in the dunker spot both times. And it's that Rui was guarding. And as soon as Rui steps up, there's just nobody to help the helper there. Like there's nobody on the backside who is rotating on a string with Rui to make sure that they're able to guard the easiest dump off pass in the world. I just don't think in any way, shape, or form that this Lakers defense is good enough right now. I guess is where I'm at. And I expected it to be a little bit better based off of what we saw in the middle of the season when they really were like aggressively blitzing and doing different things defensively to try and make it work.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's interesting. I had the same thing in my notes that are they ever actually going to double him? I feel like they show him bodies and you'll see possessions where he has like the ball at the top of the key and LeBron is super engaged off the ball and will like kind of stun at him and then get back. But it's like they never, I think you said it correctly, that they never actually forced the ball out of his hands until the very end of the game. And then to Anthony Edwards' credit, I thought he handled those situations really well and they turned into points for Minnesota. I guess I would just like to see if he could do it consistently all game long. And maybe, and here's the thing, if Anthony Edwards has made that jump to where he is I think he had like 6 assists and 1 turnover tonight or something like that. Like just an incredible game from him straight up, along with the points and the efficiency on the points. If he's made the jump where when you put 2 on him, he's always going to make the right decision, he's a problem, because that was the question coming into this season. It wasn't the scoring. It wasn't even the growth in the lane, which he showed off again tonight, playing off 2 feet. He did the step through move twice and then, off 1 foot and the little soft floater jump shot type of thing from 8 or 10 feet. I just don't think the Lakers have taken the ball out of his hands enough. I agree with you there. Maybe he'll make him pay. Maybe the Timberwolves have the other dudes between Nas and Dante. And like you said, give Jaden McDaniels his flowers, because I've questioned his offense all season long, and he's really shown up so far in this series. And then big shout out Julius Randle as well. I feel like he's had a really solid series on the offensive end, and I think his process has been really good. He scored for the most part when he needed to score, but we know he can create and break down defenses a little bit, and he's shown that. But I'm with you. I haven't loved the Lakers kind of scheme on either end of the floor, in terms of, I think Anthony Edwards has figured out this kind of like, they almost zone up when he has the ball at the top of the key. I think he's figured out how to attack it. They got to bring something different in game 5. And then offensively, I would like to see some stuff. Like, we're going to talk about the Nuggets later. And I told you before we recorded, I thought Adelman running some stuff every 10th possession for Jokic to make his life a little easier. I liked seeing that. I don't know that I see a lot of that from the Lakers the last 2 games, Sam.
So to me, this is kind of the most telling stat of the whole series, right? It's that in the regular season, Anthony Edwards averaged 4.5 assists versus 3.2 turnovers. So like a 1.3 assist to turnover ratio, something like that. Do you know what his assist to turnover ratio is so far in the series?
So 6-1 tonight. I'll say 3-1.
23 assists to 6 turnovers. So 4-1 just about.
Wow. Good for him.
And to me, what that says is that they aren't aggressively blitzing him enough. They're making his life a little bit too easy in terms of what he's seeing, what his eye lines are, what his vision looks like, how he's able to map the court. They're making it too easy. Like, teams blitzed Anthony Edwards at a higher level than any other player in the league this year, if I remember correctly. And the Lakers have not done nearly enough of that, especially when Rudy's in. Like, anytime Rudy's in the game, like, I don't understand why they aren't just like aggressively blitzing. And another piece of this with the Lakers is as well, is that the Timberwolves have obviously adjusted. They're going with like more small to small screens, right? Like, they'll bring up Mike Conley if he's being guarded by Luka. They'll bring up certain guys, right? I just don't know why you wouldn't blitz those, almost especially because like Mike Conley, God love him, he's one of my favorite like dudes on the court. Like, he went to Ohio State, like he's had this incredible career. Like, that's the guy I kind of want to make the scorer at the end of the day. And if he's just like sliding or popping or ghost screening or whatever it is to try and get that easy switch, because the Lakers are doing the easy switch, don't make it that easy, I think, is my point here.
I mean, I think we knew this going into the series, and it's proven out. The Lakers, you said it already. The Lakers don't have somebody that can guard him one-on-one. Like, there's just no point in trying, in my opinion. So why switch onto another defender that's not going to guard him either? They've made it he's too comfortable. You said it. He's too comfortable. He's able to square them up. And then right now his process is really good. I think you got to try to speed up his process. He may already be too comfortable. Maybe he'll make the right decisions, but I feel like right now he's squaring up the defense whenever he wants. And then if he feels like he wants to hit the jab step jumper, the face up jumper. And again, he's gotten really good decelerating, long stepping, changing pace, playing off 2 in the lane, along with the assist to turnover ratio. You just can't let him do those things. Get the ball out of his hands. I don't know. Maybe they get carved up with somebody making a decision in the short roll and then their shooters out at the 3-point line. But I think you got to try something. I think game 5 has to be something different from the Lakers, or they're going to continue to see the same results.
Yeah, and look, here's the other thing too. Their offense is not nearly good enough. Like, just genuinely, like their offense is nowhere near good enough right now. And a piece of that is that this was a team that when they ran stuff in the regular season, I thought they were super intentional. I thought that they were really sharp at getting, creative mismatches and looks that they wanted. It just doesn't feel like there's any intentionality to what they're running on offense right now.
No, I'm with you.
I think what worries me.
And what's crazy is I thought like LeBron was like really engaged in this game. I thought he had a pretty good game overall. But it still isn't enough. I was just trying to look up their, Sam, they get 4 dudes that score the basketball. Rui had a big, that's the thing. You got a pretty good Rui game with 5 of 10 from the 3-point line and 20.
You got a good
points.
Offensive Rui game. I thought Rui was not very good defensively, but like,
no. To be clear, yes, offense only. But you have Luka and LeBron. Reeves is a little below the regular season average, and Rui jumped over 10 today because of that game. The next points per game is 6 by Dorian Finney-Smith. So it's just
just straight up, like the guys that I feel confident when they're on the court for the Lakers right now, that there are 6 of them. Like it's Rui, LeBron, Luka, Reeves, Dorian Finney-Smith. And like, I feel okay when Gabe Vincent's out there personally. Yeah. I'm not saying that like it's a great answer or anything, but like, I feel okay when he's out there. Like Jordan Goodwin took a couple of bad shots. Like I typically like Goodwin, but like he took a couple of ugly ones today.
As you mentioned, Jackson Hayes can't play.
Hayes is unplayable. Yeah. Like it's really tough. But look, like here's the other thing too. Maybe we're just watching an ant leap again, like in the playoffs. Last year, that was where he really struggled, was like making decisions on the move and like being able to be that primary guy when he wasn't a scorer. But look, he has 23 assists in 4 games. Like he's been really good at that this year outside of game 2 or game 3. I can't remember which one where it was kind of poor, honestly. But yeah, I mean, this is, I'm like a little bit disappointed in this series just because I felt like it was one that could be more competitive. And I just don't think that it is unless the Lakers make like substantive changes here moving forward.
And I want to be like, I thought this Lakers roster was flawed post Luka trade, and it was okay, but I did think that they were missing some pieces that they would need. I think it's interesting. I would love to hook Luka up to a lie detector or give him truth serum or whatever to ask how much his comfortability changes when he has a true lob threat on the floor. You know, like he's played in Dallas the last couple of years with those bigs. And does he miss that? And the answer may be no. Like it's not like he's not averaging 30 still, but I always felt like that was a huge part of his game in terms of making his life easier. And I felt like that put a ton of pressure on a defense when you could run a Luka pick and roll with floor spacers and you had that rim running gravity big man. And as we mentioned at the top, Jackson Hayes is just unplayable. They don't have enough two-way wings on the roster. It's just a flawed roster right now. And that's okay right now. It needs to be fixed in the offseason. But I don't think that's an excuse for there not to be some better schematic things on the LA end, or at least I expected there to be. I want to real quick. Rudy Gobert has been awful offensively. You tweeted this out the other day, and I had been putting it in the notes, and I forgot to say it the last time we recorded. he doesn't necessarily get played off the court because of his defense. He gets played off the court because he can't make him pay on the other end because he misses every attempt. He brings the ball. Austin Reeves got him like 3 times in the first half tonight, digging at it because they brought it down. That's the issue is Rudy can't make you pay because he can't put the ball in the basket.
The thing for me with Rudy isn't that he's like a terrible perimeter defender. I think he does like okay in switches, right?
It's if he was dominating offensively, you could survive him defensively. If he was offensive rebounding, put backing, like that stuff, I think he holds up okay even against the Lakers small ball lineup.
Yeah, but like the issue is like the defense or the offense is just like completely unplayable.
So then it's like, what's the point whenever we put Nas out there and Nas can
totally
like knock down shots and drive? Like he had some big buckets late in that run. So
yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Like the issue is that if Rudy can't take advantage on the other end, then like, what's the point of having him on the court if they're just going to pull him out away from the rim? But again, like credit to the Wolves because the Nas lineups have been really effective. Like they were a -11 with Rui today. They're a +9 with Naz Reid on the court, +8 with with Julius Randle and Jaden McDaniels, by the way, but +8 with Julius Randle on the court. Like they've weaponized the small lineups against the Lakers in a really important way, I think. So like they deserve a ton of credit. And the biggest thing here is just like Ant at the end of the day. Like the level to which Ant is like dominating this series and is outplaying Luka is like so drastic right now to me. Every single time that the Timberwolves need a shot, like we've talked about the playmaking and the decision making and everything. And like, I'm interested to see them play like a real like defense at some point, honestly, to see like just how much the court mapping and the decision making and everything has grown. But also like every time they need a shot, he drills it. Like any minor mistake that the Lakers make, like if they are slightly late, bringing up that like, soft help that they're doing, not blitzing, but like bringing up like a soft, like second body up to the level of the screen, he's just going to pull up and drill it every time. The ability for him to like get into the lane and just beat dudes like Rui and Reeves and like all these guys off the bounce. Like, I mean, he has been fantastic. Like some of the like we've talked about the footwork for the last year and a half, I feel like on this channel, like the biggest place where to me he's improved is that he is capable now of using his footwork, not just his explosiveness, to get to certain areas. Like he had that play today that was like a sweet up and under where he plants on his right. And this is where the balance comes in too. Like he's not just an explosive athlete. He's a truly elite balanced athlete as well, where he plants on the right, like pump fakes and then goes to the left and then like hits that little floater. I mean, it was disgusting. Like, yeah, that dude is something, man. He has been one of the best players in the playoffs this year, point blank.
Yeah, he had one where like he had a dribble move into a decel and then like he's decelled and then long step through contact, finish through that contact with his left hand. It's just, we get so enamored with these guys' athleticism. And I always like to make sure we point out the nuance and the skill level. And you bring up a great point with the body control and the balance, because that's huge for what he's able to do. So when you combine all of those things and his decision-making process is on point, he's just really, really tough to handle. And yeah, I mean, the Lakers are in a tough situation no matter what. I'd still like him to just go at him, attack him with 2 and, scramble behind it and see if they can make the right decisions.
Yeah. I think that's where I'm at. I mean, obviously I think the Wolves are going to win this series at this point. Like, I do not think I would pick the Lakers now. I'm fascinated to see what happens.
Yep.